Okay, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the process of creating thumbnails for a logo. This is a logo I did for um, San Jose State's anti-racist um, faculty group, and of course, I wanted to talk to the person that was ahead of that, and they let me know that they wanted to have a fist. They wanted to have like a wave, like it's a wave of something going on, right? Like a momentum. So I took those cues and I started brainstorming. I started thinking about like what a wave would look like to me. I've asked them what a wave looked like to them and what type of waves that they were interested in. And then I started kind of brainstorming out what those, I guess, individual parts might want to look like. I go as abstract. I went as almost literal as I wanted for that, and then I double checked with my client. So then eventually, I kind of came up with all these separate options that aren't really quite full logos to show them. And I numbered them all because I wanted to have a really good way of communicating with them what is interesting to them and what's not. And since we were communicating mostly via email and messages, I wanted to make sure that I had some kind of numbering system. So I would say, "Oh, what do you feel about one?" Or "Can you tell me what your favorite one is?" And they would say, "Oh, I like 3 and 8, or 7 and 5. I like what you're doing with 9." And they would even let me know what parts of those things they enjoyed, so I could probably kind of mishmash them together. So it was even as far as kind of talking about how the fist was represented and the ways were represented for that client. Now, going forward, they let me know the color schemes, very limited color schemes that they wanted me to work within. Oh, these are some more iterations. But with the color scheme that they wanted me to work within was very simple. It was just black and red and white because their budget allowed for something like this. They let me know that it would be on posters and flyers, and it would be something that used as a kind of a stamp. So what I did was I created some color versions of them. They let me know that they wanted to make sure that they had text involved in this as well. So then I had to figure out how I would place the text within this and how I'd represent um, those images. So I went through a lot of different iterations. However, these are the ones that I kind of kept for myself in the process form. So you can see how I kind of created that. They wanted to make sure that uh, the way that the acronym was also represented as well. So I wanted to make sure I did a bunch in red. I also even have it's not pictured here, but there are also iterations that are where it's more black in the background rather than red in the back, the background as well. And then of course, I try to separate my numbers from my letters. So with that, uh, the numbers being for the thumbnails and the letters being for more of a complete composition to kind of run by them to lessen confusion in the process a little bit. So I went back and forth with them on that, and they let me know what to fix and what they enjoyed about the um, thumbnails of this sort, so that I cleaned them up a bit. And you can see me trying to clean them up now, as well as giving them some other formats to work with. When they said, "Hey, I'd rather you make the equal sign look more equal," and other things like that. So I tried to kind of work around and create a little bit more variations around that for their logo. So that is really kind of what we landed on. I forgot exactly which one they liked best. I think it was this one with like kind of like this roller coaster effect. I'm not even quite sure. Maybe I can dig it up later and show you guys. But this is really a process video, so I wanted to show you kind of how I attacked creating thumbnails for my client to choose from and creating a logo. So that is the first thing you got to do is kind of brainstorm your imagery and break down what is going to be the imagery that you want to represent. And then after that, create some logos, different sorts and styles to choose from so you can run it by your client. I hope this helps.